This episode is brought to you by Airbus, U.S. Space and Defense. Marine Corps Expeditionary Advanced Base operations require logistical support when and where Marines need it. The Airbus UH-72 Unmanned Logistics Connector provides proven performance and reliability alongside next-generation autonomous capability. As the Marine Corps revolutionizes warfare, the UH-72 Unmanned Logistics Connector evolves to support it. Visit AirbusUS.com to learn more. That's AirbusUS.com. Hey, Scuttlebutt listeners. I'm Vic. I'm here with Nancy.
Hi, everyone.
And we're rocking and rolling here at Day 3 Modern Day Marine. And we're really excited to be welcoming Rick Stockton. You go Aldric, Stockton.
Aldric, Rick, whatever makes you happy. Rick's easy, so I go for that.
Veteran Marine and the current military account manager at Chinook Medical Gear.
Yes.
Yeah. And you have one of the more memorable booths.
Yep.
I think, Nancy, if you want to...
Yeah, so I was walking the show floor the other day, and I take a look, and I see a guy standing there with like a gaping wound on his body, multiple gaping wounds. And so naturally I had to stop and take a look. It was not a real gaping wound. Can you explain it a little bit? It was attention-getting.
It wasn't imaginary, but it wasn't a wound on me.
Yes.
So that was a new wearable task trainer that we recently onboarded from a company called Strategic Medical Research and Training. The gentleman that designs that, Reese, is fantastic. He's created this moulage to augment his own training company. He needed something that could live up to his training standards, so he started selling moulage, and enough people wanted it that he needed someone to sell it so he could focus on the training. So I had it out there, and everybody's seen enough mannequins, so I really don't like having a whole bunch of those out there. So I
mannequins are creepy.
Yeah, they're a little creepy, and they
don't let you know when there's pain, right?
Exactly. And everyone's like, "Oh, this one can blink and breathe," and I'm like, "Okay, I can also do that with a Lance Corporal. Also, I can make a Lance Corporal scream, like,
and I can beatbox.
Exactly. And so I can, kind of augment existing stuff. You can put it on existing mannequins, but I decided to just wear it around, be the mannequin myself.
Yeah.
And I was told that, if you show a little leg, you get a little business. So I was showing a little leg wound.
Hey, I stopped.
Well
Here we
played.
are.
Yeah. Well, before we dive into what you guys are doing with medical training, which, as a combat lifesaver, when I was, doing our PTP and stuff, it's obviously critical training, and I love it. But what about you? So, like we said, veteran Marine, you got out as a sergeant.
Yep.
So what were your path to the Yellow Footprints? Are you from Oklahoma originally?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm from Oklahoma originally, so this is where it's kind of a interesting story. So I initially joined the Marine Corps 3 days after I turned 17, like a lot of people from small town Oklahoma do.
Delayed entry program, whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that when you're from small town Oklahoma, I mean, it's military or the oil field or work on a ranch, or if your parents had money, you went to college. Well, I was working on a ranch, and so had that covered, and went to the Marine Corps at 17, turned 18 in boot camp. Shortly later, I tore my plantar fasciae, got kicked out of boot camp.
Oh,
and
wow.
Had to go back 6 years later and do it again
kidding.
as a 24-year-old. And I turned 24 in boot camp, so my 18th and 24th birthday was in boot camp. So
Memorable
how
way
did
to
that
work?
So, I mean, obviously, did you have to get waivers out the ass?
Yeah, so it took about 3 years to get back in. So it was 3 years of moping and then 3 years of actually doing something about it.
And what was it about the Marine Corps that, like, because most people would have been like, that was a nice idea, but I guess not. And it's not in the cards. You're just like, no, fuck that, I'm doing this.
Yeah, that was a lot of the mindset was, as you're sitting around, you think about things that you didn't do right, didn't do well, and that was one of those looming things. I mean, that was my way out of small town Oklahoma, because I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so the way out of impoverished small town Oklahoma was go to the military and 3 square meals a day and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
free haircuts
Yeah.
for at least while you're at boot camp.
yeah, exactly. And so I was just kind of sitting around thinking about it, and I eventually had a conversation with somebody that I hadn't seen since before I left, right? So they're like, "Oh, well, how'd the Marine Corps thing go?" And I was working for Best Buy at the time, and my at the time wife was like, "Oh, well, that didn't work out, so he's at Best Buy now." And when you're the Best Buy employee, it's not the same thing as the Marine, right?
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I probably need to finish that up and get that to stop kind of looming over my head.
Yeah.
Went back. Took about 3 years to get back in, and got back in. Went through boot camp again as the old guy.
The old guy. Yeah, you sure were.
How was it the second time around?
When you go through and you know what to expect, because I was several weeks in my first time.
Yeah.
So getting to go back, you kind of know what to expect. You're already ready for the games. And it wasn't my first time away from home. I wasn't, missing mom and dad and all that stuff. I was a grown man. So, I mean,
more mature.
Yeah. It doesn't have as much of a psychological shake to you, but the drill instructors will even admit to you that they don't have to mess with the older guys as much because they don't have to make them grow up in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you've got some life experience. You don't have to.
Yeah.
There's not as much to shed. Yeah.
Yeah. Since I'd been through it before, they're like, "You already know what's coming. We're just going to make you scribe. So we're going to go."
About the same.
we're going to go train, and you're just going to work on McTins. So I mean, it wasn't so bad the second time. Yeah.
And then, so were you grunt? Where did you end up?
So I was comms.
Okay. So MCT.
Yep.
And then off the comm school was at 29 Palms?
Yeah, so 29 Palms. Had a good time out there. Maybe I'm, a little weird, but I actually enjoyed 29 Palms.
No, it's not weird. I was there for a year. I was with Delta Company Third Tracks. I did not like it, but I knew people who did, and it's not weird.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like I enjoyed my time there. Had a really fun time, because I'd been kicked out of the Marine Corps prior. They made me go in as reserves. Maybe there was some paperwork shuffling that happened
Gotcha.
to make sure that I stayed reserves. But yeah, so I ended up going through from boot camp, MCT to comm school. I went through with a guy, and we got to the same unit together. So I was with 214 Fox Battery out of Oklahoma City.
Okay, yeah.
HIMARS, so got to work with a really cool system. Got to learn a lot of really cool things.
It survived the cut, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 214 is one of your higher rated HIMARS groups in the entire military. So it was really cool, really exciting. I had a lot of fun. Went through it the whole time with a guy that I had known since boot camp. So it's a little easier to show up to a new unit when you have one familiar face,
sure,
right?
Absolutely. And then, was there already a interest? We talked about, combat lifesaver course or whatever.
Right.
Was there any particular training event that you were like, oh, this is super interesting, I want to dive into it? Or did you always have sort of a fascination with how do I help someone if they get hurt? Or where did that come from? So
I'm an Eagle Scout.
Okay.
So that was one of the things I did growing up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was always a great interest, being prepared, all the preparedness and things of that variety. So it was always of interest to have that level of preparation to be able to handle yourself in multiple situations. And so I always wanted to know about medical, always get a little bit more involved. And I actually have a really specific experience where in my hometown, to get in, you have to come. It's like a bridge that goes downhill, and this truck's brakes went out. And when I say truck, I mean like a big fuel truck, right?
Okay, yeah.
The brakes went out, and he barreled into town and ended up crashing into a building.
Jeez.
And I was talking to my uncle just down the road from where it happened. Small town, so everything's just down the road. But,
right, yeah. That's how it works.
Hey, we had 3 stoplights though, so look at us.
Did you have a Walmart?
We had a Walmart.
Okay.
Oh,
We had the area Walmart, so I mean we were
Yeah.
we were a little up on the
that
high
is
horse.
Yeah, you were.
very fancy.
But yeah, and I remember actually responding to that with my uncle, and saw my uncle kind of jump into action. He was he was a firefighter, had his EMT certifications and all that stuff, and saw him just spring into action. That's one of those things where when you see it, it's like, okay, that's what somebody capable looks like, because he was delivering mail. So he was the mailman, and so imagine the mailman springs into action and makes sure that you're taken care of in one of those emergent situations.
Yeah.
And so having a level of medical preparedness always was on the forefront of my mind. It was never lost on me.
How old were you when that happened?
I was probably 12 or 13 or something like
Okay.
that. So
Made a big impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of exciting things that happened in Cleveland, Oklahoma. So you see a fuel truck crash into a building, and it's like, oh, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
And yeah, I mean, the guy was fine, but just seeing my uncle jump into that and have that medical training, it's like, okay, well, maybe I need to pay attention to that, because you never know when that stuff's going to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. What I will say, having done, multiple workups or whatever, it was amazing to me that how I had to seek medical training out. It wasn't part of the normal, your block training or whatever.
Right.
Of course, maybe you have it on there. You need to send some people
Yeah.
to combat lifesaver training, or you need to have maybe your corpsman go to like the advanced thing where you like stitch up pigs or whatever.
Right.
One guy per squad gets a Unit 1 bag.
Yeah.
It really was like, if something happens, we're a lot of us, and especially if it happens to the guy I trained, our survival is going to be on prayers and, that golden hour. And we have no real way of affecting the golden hour other than knowing my 9 line.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
when we think about like the threats of today, right? Everything we're training for is prolonged casualty care, prolonged field care, DECM, whatever acronym we want to use, whatever the acronym of the week is, right?
Yeah. Acronym soup.
We're starting to see that golden hour not be a thing. So I have clients that have gone over to Ukraine, and they're saying that their evacuation times are 32 hours.
Good grief.
Yeah. So that golden hour is
That disappeared.
that expired. That expired yesterday.
Yeah, that's a great thing, though.
Yeah. So as we start kind of looking at this and this evolution of medicine, we're starting to see the military take it significantly more seriously at the individual unit level, because it's no longer we don't have the luxury of just being able to put T in the box for trained and say, hey, you're good, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're gonna have to sit on these guys, and so it's gonna come down. And I mean, some of the talks that we heard today from different leaders is, hypersonic missile strikes and the mass casualty events that happen from that kind of thing. I mean, you deal with a mass casualty situation, but you have one corpsman. Yeah. Your CLS guy's about to get really experienced. He's about to get a lot of reps in.
Put a pot of coffee on. So what is that like? What is Chinook doing, and then how big is that? I guess is that industry base for providing and enabling medical training?
So the big thing that Chinook does is we provide custom medical equipment, right? So the custom medical solutions for any environment. There's always different mission sets, different environments, different SOPs, different units, different budgets that we have to find and work parameters within. There's not a square peg, square hole answer. Like, you have to kind of tailor this to what each individual unit's doing. What we provide for the Army that could be worried about a land war in Europe is not the same thing that we're going to provide to Marines that are going to be possibly island hopping in the Pacific, right? So we have to set that up and tailor that, and that's why we've sought out fantastic companies like SMRT to do that medical training, and we're providing that high-quality training moulage, because a lot of the stuff that SMRT does, and if you talk to Reese, he's really big on this, is train the trainer. Have it to where it's at the unit level, so the guys in the unit, your corpsmen, your experienced CLS guys, can actually train your individual Marines, have the proper training aids with the proper materials that's relevant to the mission set that you're going to be going on. Right? Because a lot of times it's like, hey, let's just see how many widgets we can fit in a bag. Sustainability, logistically, that's not the right answer. So
Well, and it's having those on site because, as you know, I mean, these sort of niche, so almost boutique training evolutions require these specialized equipment sets. It's like it resides in like the battalion like 3 shop, right? And you have like requested out, and like sometimes it doesn't all come back, and all these other things. And so you end up, your combat lifesavers course ends up being a PowerPoint presentation, and then you give someone you give someone an IV, and you're like, you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, you're not going to PowerPoint your way out of a mass casualty event, right?
I don't think so.
No, but
I mean, it depends on the slide deck.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, listen, I've seen some pretty good slideshows, though. I don't know about all that. But one of the things that, you know, we're kind of looking at is, as we're getting those supplies out there and those high quality training materials, this is all stuff that a lot of the things that I learned in the Marine Corps was taught from a hip pocket class. I had
Nice.
you know, when I was a Lance Corporal, I had a sergeant just, you know, snag a radio off the shelf and program it and mess with something and, you know, kind of mess up some of the settings and say, hey, fix it. So being able to have this solution where you can have a corpsman go into a closet, grab any of these moulage items that are, you know, TCCC tasks to train on. It's like, hey, you know, pack this clavicle wound where you have to get, you know, subclavian, right? Like that, you have to go find where the bleeding's coming from. It's not just put gauze in hole anymore, right? right. Square peg, square hole. That's not how medicine works. That's not how ballistics works. As you know, bullets move through tissue. All of those wounds are based on actual wound patterns that exist in real life.
That's awesome.
So one really good example. There's the one that I was wearing around the gunshot wound in the shoulder where you stuck your finger in.
It was
and
an exit wound.
Yeah, it's an exit wound. The really cool story about that is Reese had trained Israelis on that exact training item, and then 6 weeks later, there was a Mossad commander that got shot through the back and had that exact exit wound, and they were able to save that guy. With that, you know, of course, like 6 units of blood. But they were able to get that packed in there because they had that training aid. They had that material. It wasn't...
That's awesome.
There was bones in the way. They actually had to think about it.
Well, they had muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. And critical thinking. The critical thinking skill, I think, is extremely important. And that's one of the big focuses of that type of equipment is, what do you have? How's it relevant? How do you properly employ this? It's not just a widget. It's a material to make you think.
And where does the I guess the genesis for this equipment come from? Like, do you have like cash, former military cash surgeons, or are you consulting these types of people? Or?
So, Reese has been doing training for several years. It's around the 20-year mark. Not trying to make the guy sound old.
Because he was 8 when he started. So yeah.
I mean, he was a child when he went to Afghanistan the first time.
Sure.
But he went over so he was special operations when he went over there, right? And so a lot of these wound patterns are from the training events that he's done, the things that he's seen. He's in hospitals, in trauma rooms, and these are all real life wounds.
That's what I'm saying. Like it seems like the realism is coming from somewhere. It's not just like, oh, I was looking through some medical journal and then I came.
There's no what ifs.
Yeah.
There's no what ifs. It's, hey, this one time there was this wound and it looked like this. Or I've seen several of these such and such wound patterns. The big nasty wound that I was wearing around.
The attention getter.
The attention getter. Yeah. The leg to show.
The meat pocket.
Yeah, the meat pocket.
Oh, God.
That was from an actual wound that he treated. It was a guy got zipped up by a PKM.
Jeez.
And that's the wound.
Did you go over and look at the display?
No, I just saw the pictures that you showed.
I should have worn over. I should have worn over.
I'm coming by. Yeah,
that's on me.
What's the response been like from people besides me? It's losing my mind.
It's been fantastic, and there's a whole bed system that you can hook this up to, so it'll actually all your different wounds can bleed, and as they bleed, that bed will collect it. And it goes on like a standard Talon litter, so you're not like buying a special bed or anything. It's just like a collection pool. It's like a little kiddie pool.
Yeah.
But it's like a manly pool, full of blood. And so as that pumps that back up, it actually comes out hot. It's like 92 degrees.
Oh, no way.
So
Like blood.
yeah, like blood. Like you stick your hand in warm blood instead of, oh, this is red colored water. It's oh, this is warm blood. Okay, this is a completely different. Completely
Give me a
different
minute.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good now.
Actually, that has been a response. I was at DMMSO. It's a medical simulation and developing medicine trade show, the vendor day at Fort Sam Houston, and we had a gentleman walk up, and I pumped one of the neck wounds, and he was like, "Oh, I've seen that before," and he just left. He just vacated the premises immediately. I was like,
too much. It's too much.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if that answers the question of what's been the response. It's, It's a really good training aid. He's been using it for many, many years, and I mean, the response is, "Hey, he's been using this in training for several years. People want to buy it. It's one of the highest rated systems out there."
And the response to the initiative as well. Like, are people saying like, "Finally," or you know what? I didn't consider. Are they saying like, "Oh, we're good"? Or
so
it seems like, especially as we're talking the golden hour being extended out past.
Right.
It seems like people are recognizing the need, huh?
And recognizing the. I don't want to say the failure of training, but just the general lack of awareness around the need to train.
Yeah.
And being able to get those materials, take it out, do a hip pocket class with it, or take it out to a field event and run that equipment out in a field for a prolonged period of time. Like you have to sit on casualty management. And the fact that you can, kind of keep those wounds going, it's like, hey, just introduce a rebleed randomly.
Dude, that's such a good point, because I even think about all the times that we were running like company level ops or whatever.
Yeah.
My version of training first sergeant on casualty collection point is, can you identify it on the map?
Yeah.
Like, good to go first sergeant. Let's go back to shooting stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, we really could have used things like that, where like it's not just knowing where it's located, but managing it and continuing it going. Yeah.
Because, I mean, one of the things that you always hear about is check your wounds, check your dressings every time you transport. When you get them to the casualty collection point, make sure that you check your wounds, check your dressings. Okay, cool. Sit on it for 32 hours. You're not checking it every time you move them. You're checking it. Now you have to consciously think about it. It's not like a passive thing like, oh, I moved him, check dressing. And now it's, hey, that guy's been there for a minute. I need to check these dressings. I need to make sure that I don't have any blood coming through. Okay, well, my combat gauze is turning red on the top of the pile. That's a problem.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, my clot has failed.
Yes.
And that's another thing is, the military recognizes that, and there's new products coming to market. So, I was talking about that 32 hours being kind of the standard in Ukraine right now. You have new items coming to market that's going to be more geared for that. So, combat gauze, it's rated to be left for 24 hours, right? That's what it says on the packaging. Well, they have new stuff coming out, and the Marine Corps does a fantastic job, actually, when it comes to rapid adoption, because they recognize a need and a shortcoming. Fill that hole as fast as possible. Don't go through like this whole big, long...
the urgent needs statement. Yeah,
they can just say, hey, we need that. So they have something coming to the battalion aid stations that's rated for 48 hours.
Oh, nice.
So the Marine Corps is actually being very proactive in that aspect, and it's really nice to see that. And so as those materials start disseminating to the different units, you're actually starting to see that be part of that conversation. So now your dressings are going to be able to last a little bit longer, and you can...
Well, especially as we're talking, expedition, advanced basing, stand-in forces, everybody operating within the West, and these small, units that are alone and unafraid. That kind of stuff is going to be absolutely critical, because, like you said, I mean, you don't. For one, that one corpsman, if it gets bad, he's going to culminate quickly.
Yeah.
And you need those things that I can put on and then have it do a thing for a while I go triage and do other stuff.
And one of the new products that we have that's officially debuting at SOMA, we have that is designed to not make it to where you have to hold pressure on that combat gauze for 3 minutes, because you're supposed to hold pressure for 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, to get it to coagulate. Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot that can happen in 3 minutes, and as a corpsman, you need to move person to person, and I can't have somebody tied up, especially if I'm in one of these mass casualty events.
Wait, I'll be right with you. I'll be right.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I know you need someone to bring you ammo. Mr. 0331, we'll get somebody to bring you the ammo after he holds pressure here for 3 minutes. Sorry, just give us a minute.
29, 28,
Yeah.
27.
Yep. So now it's we have materials that are designed to actually hold that pressure for you
So cool.
a little bit better. Working with existing equipment, we're not trying to, trying to strong
That's what the thing
anyone.
is. It seems like what you guys are offering, you don't have to continue to it's adaptable and modular, so that it's not like it doesn't become obsolete as everything else is, right?
Yeah, because I mean, the biggest thing is everybody's trying to reinvent the wheel, and they're trying to come out with these new whiz bang gadgets, and like, oh, look at our new widget, and if you buy our stuff with our stuff with our stuff with our stuff with our stuff, it all works together, and you can save a life. And let's just improve what the military already has massive stockpiles of, like the cat tourniquets. Like, hey, cat tourniquets exist. They're probably not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's do stuff that can improve the capabilities.
Let's train them so you don't need all the high-speed equipment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at your different special operations groups, they're really looking at like sticks and rags medicine. What can they carry the furthest for the shortest period of time? They're not trying to occupy any more space in their packs than they have to. Because they're going to be operating out there for a cool minute, right? So,
and probably what can you forage too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's part of the conversation is like, how do we improve what you already have? And whenever you run into these situations, how is it not the first time you've run into the situation? Because your first time in a situation, being live, probably not the best time to learn, right?
This doesn't look like the PowerPoint slide.
No, yeah. I love seeing these issues addressed here at Modern Day Marine. I love that this is part of the technology question that's being answered.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, so every Marine's a rifleman, right? How many hours have you spent snapping into a barrel, right?
Yeah.
Just like the little shooting barrel, and it's just like presenting, staring at it. Like, how many hours do you do that? Well, okay, cool. So you make the rounds go one direction. Gunfights are usually two ways. How often do you train the medical stuff? How long do you train it? So as we're having those conversations, but it's not necessarily any fault. It's what is the proper training aid? I mean, having those, sure, setting a barrel up and a stencil on a barrel, and then you can just aim through your RCO. Sure, fantastic, awesome. You are getting like decent quality training in because you're able to,
reps and sets,
reps and sets, and you're using an actual rifle, not something notional. That's like, imagine you're holding a rifle. You're actually holding a rifle, right? Like, imagine you're looking through an RCO. You actually are. So with this type of material that we have displayed here, you can actually get that rep in, you can actually get that set in, you can actually play around with it, you can fail on the training. That's a big thing, is being able to fail a training, not just put T in the box. So that's one of those things that get you to kind of critically think about it and get those reps and sets in, so you have that answer.
If the training device or equipment could be outstanding, but if it's so boutique that no one actually gets to use it, then I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you need an engineering degree to work this? Come on, come on.
Or it's so expensive. Like, I don't want some Lance Corporal fucking around with it.
Yeah. Listen, I got nervous when Lance Corporals picked up certain radios, man. Like, I was like, hey, dog, why don't you go ahead and hand that off to a corporal? So, I don't want to hand him a $80,000 training aid. It's like, hey, take this piece of silicone, go run out in that field, and lay down real quick.
Exactly. Well, Rick, man, this has been really great. I truly appreciate what you guys are doing. I think it's a force multiplier
amazing.
for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This was great, really fun.
I gotta ask you.
This
is my favorite question.
Okay.
Whenever I'm here, I gotta ask this question. What was your best day in the Marine Corps?
Oh man,
no one's ready for it.
I know.
Actually, I tell you what. I'm going to give you an honest answer, and it's kind of corny, kind of cheesy, and...
We love corny and cheesy at Scuttlebutt.
That's our wheelhouse.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of okay with that. Might be a generic answer. Sorry for being a basic bitch on your podcast. So honestly, best day in the Marine Corps, I'm gonna have to say, was probably my last day in the Marine Corps. I had.
Which wasn't that long ago.
Which wasn't that long
we
ago.
did not
Yeah,
touch on this. You're 9 days or 10 days?
That's right.
12 days.
12 days
days.
now.
12 days ago. So not last Sunday, but the Sunday before was my last official day in the Marine Corps. So yeah, no, I just left the reserves. So I'm technically not out until May 13th. So, but yeah, my last actual day in uniform was like not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my last day in the Marine Corps was probably best day in the Marine Corps. So I put a lot of emphasis on training and improving the guys around you, because I think a good leader is able to remove roadblocks and enhance and empower their team, right?
Right.
And a measure of how good of a leader you are is how much personal stuff your juniors can bring to you. How comfortable are they with? How comfortable are they with you? How effective are they? How good do they do their job? And how comfortable are they with you? And I had one of my Marines get Marine of the Quarter for the regiment, so that was very cool, very exciting. And one of them had his meritorious package accepted.
Nice.
And I got to pin one of the guys that had been in for a minute. Got to pin him sergeant. So
That's awesome.
a lot of things.
A lot of milestones for other people.
Yep, a lot of milestones for other
Cool.
people. A lot of things wrapped up. Things I was worried about. Hey, making sure that my guys are taken care of in the long run. So best day in the Marine Corps was my last day in the Marine Corps, because I got to see that my guys were in good hands and were competent and capable Marines.
That's awesome. Thank
They're
you.
all grossed up now.
I'm so proud of my children.
All right, Rick, this has been great, man. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much.
We would like to thank Airbus U.S. Space and Defense for sponsoring this episode. Marine Corps Expeditionary Advanced Base operations require logistical support when and where Marines need it. The Airbus UH-72 Unmanned Logistics Connector provides proven performance and reliability alongside next-generation autonomous capability. As the Marine Corps revolutionizes warfare, the UH-72 Unmanned Logistics Connector evolves to support it. Visit AirbusUS.com to learn more. That's AirbusUS.com. Scuttlebutt is a production of the Marine Corps Association. You have heard the voices and contributions from Major Vic Rubel, USMC retired, Nancy Litchman, William Trudy, and our guests. Ty Frazier is the editor, sound engineer, and technical producer. The Marine Corps Association is not an agency of the U.S. government. The opinions expressed in this episode are the personal views of the participants and do not reflect the official position of the United States Marine Corps, the Department of Defense, or the Marine Corps Association.